Let's talk about cancellations for a moment, because there's some rules around cancellation that haven't existed before, my understanding. And so previously I could actually make a customer call in, I could make them write a letter. That was always my favorite. Justin Goff, brilliant. He would make them write a letter. They had to write a letter to cancel. They could have all their money back. They just have to write a letter. Freaking, you know how many people are too lazy to write a freaking letter? So I believe they have to be able to opt out with a click or something. How does that work?
It's called the click to cancel rule.
Okay.
I don't like the name of it because it's nothing new. California has for a very long time required...
Nobody does that.
What?
Click to cancel.
Well, so California for the longest time has required you to provide consumers a method of cancellation. So if you enroll online, you have to provide an online method of cancel. In California,
Is email work?
Yes and no.
Okay.
California also requires you to provide consumers like a pre-formatted email. A lot of times that'll take the form of like a web form, right? But basically the negative option rule, the new rule is just saying if you enroll online, you're going to get an online method of cancellation. You can't make them call in. You can't put them...
For a greedy state that takes everybody's money that lives in the state, they don't want anybody else to make no money. But go ahead. I'm sorry. Freaking California.
How annoying is it though when you try to cancel something? I canceled my Wall Street Journal subscription. I had to sit on the phone for 20 minutes just to finally get the hell out of the thing.
Can I tell you, I once called Amex and canceled my credit card because I was on a subscription service for housekeeping. No shit, for housekeeping. I don't even know how the frick I got. I don't even know how I got there. I got on and it was like the 800 number didn't work. Nothing worked. I called Amex like 2 times. I changed the number, but because it was a subscription, even though I had them send me a new card and change the number, they were still able to bill me. And I had to file a chargeback every month, and I did, and they still kept billing me. I finally canceled that Amex card and then reapplied for it, which, by the way, is such a stupid thing to do. But it drives me crazy, but I'm still a marketer. I'm still in the industry. So I do believe in creating a clear and easy way for your customers to cancel.
But, yeah.
But give me the option to run some retention.
You can.
Okay, tell me how to do that.
So if people are calling in, one of the big...
But I have to be able to allow them to cancel online.
Yes, you have to let them be able to cancel online. But if they were to call in, right?
Yeah, I have all the retention in the world.
When I spoke about this about a year ago, everybody was worried about, because the FTC, the proposed rule said, you can't even do a save with sale. There are no downsell attempts, like full bore stop. The FTC actually backed away from that.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll say, one soft downsell. If they want out, then they want out. That would be the best way to make sure that you're not frustrating that cancellation process. But yeah, if you were letting people enroll online, you got to let them enroll online or cancel online. You've needed to be able to, if you've been selling in California, you should have been doing this for a very long time. So it's nothing really new. I don't understand really why everybody's saying that this is.
Nobody's doing it. I don't know anybody that's doing it. Allowing you to cancel online. Most people have you contact customer service. You send an email. Yeah. Some people don't even have that.
Yeah, well,
fair enough. So we've got to have a way for them to cancel online in a membership area or whatever. Okay. I'd like to talk about the implementation of all this. This isn't new, but it is new. There's several dates being thrown around, January, March. Talk to me about that because it seems confusing.
So January 14th, so there's 2 deadlines. January 14th is the first deadline. It has to do with the disclosures and the prohibition on misrepresentations on your products. So if you are selling a product on subscription and you are misrepresenting the efficacy of that product, arguably that is a violation of this rule. Now, whether or not this rule will continue in its current form now that President Trump has been reelected, that remains to be seen. But until we see some sort of action from the FTC, January 14th, you need to make sure that your billing disclosures are clear, conspicuous, and unavoidable. And then you can't misrepresent. If you're saying your dietary supplement will cure cancer, something like that, that's a material misrepresentation.
You were going to get in trouble for that for a long time.
But, it just proves the point. That would be enough for civil penalties under this revised rule or this new rule. So that's the first deadline. The second deadline is the so-called click to cancel component, where you have to provide a online method of cancellation, and that is March 14th.
How can companies take advantage of this to create a competitive advantage?
We've been working with a lot of brands that people love their product. And like you said before, giving a subscribe and save offer, giving incentives for enrolling in a subscription. Like when you buy a product and it's something that you use every day, it's really nice to be able to have that show up on your door and never have to worry about it. Like your water filter that comes every 3 months or whatever it is. It's really
the best thing ever, isn't it? It's the best thing ever.
My wife isn't asking me where's the water filter? It just shows up and I don't have to worry about it.
No, the worst thing in the world is when it turns on the stupid refrigerator and then you can't even get any freaking water out of it because you didn't think about it.
But that's so Amazon touts their subscribe and save offer.
Right.
There are compliance issues with it and there's some litigation about it, but for the most part, it's reasonably compliant.
Right.
And they do a pretty good job of saying, hey, there's this other subscribe and save offer. These are the benefits of it. And for the most part, consumers enjoy it. If you get that take rate on the subscription, you're getting consumers who want your product, think that it works, and you're probably going to keep them for a long time.
What haven't I asked you that I should have?
I think it really gets into the misrepresentation component.
Really talk to me about that in quantifiable words, your lawyer words a lot, which don't mean anything.
Okay. I mean, if you're saying your product does something
and
it doesn't do it, or you don't have the evidence to back that up, that gives rise to civil penalties. That is going to be a boon for an aggressive regulator. The other part of this, it also applies to B2B contracts. So not just consumer contracts. So if you are a business selling to businesses on subscription, this rule is going to apply to it. So you need to make sure that your disclosures are clear, unambiguous, or unavoidable. You're getting unambiguous consent to those terms. So pretty much anything that's being sold on subscription now is going to be covered by this rule. So you really need to start, thinking about how aggressive your copy is on certain things, especially if you're selling on subscription. That's what has the advertising lawyers scared. Not scared, but a little concerned about how this is going to.
I think you guys are excited. What are you talking about?
Well,
sometimes. Upgrade that Tesla. Anything else? Anything that you want to say that you want people to hear?
I love subscription billing. I think it's great for consumers. It's great for marketers. You just got to do it in the right way. I've heard that people say there's no way to do this compliantly. There's no way to do it where
if they want to come for you, they'll find a way. Would you disagree with that? You're not going to, don't answer that. I'm not going to let you answer that. I'm not going to let you answer that. But there's no freaking way if they want you, they ain't going to get you in one way or another.
You can't keep someone from being sued. No. But there are definitely ways to do this. You don't have to be sketchy. Mm-hmm. Just disclose it. I mean, and to be honest, if you have this idea, you're like, I'm super compliant, I have no problems, go to your BBB profile. If your BBB profile
Trustpilot and BBB,
yep. all the review sites, if there's a recurring theme, it's like, I don't understand why I keep being rebilled for all this. Like, what the hell? I bought a one-time product. I mean, I had this conversation earlier this week. It's like, I've got the clearest billing disclosures. I don't understand what everybody's griping about. Why am I getting a BBB complaint? Well, have you looked that you have like 300 complaints about your subscription billing? And it's like, well, we just refund everybody immediately. It's like, well, then you have a problem at the beginning of the offer. People don't understand. And so, you were talking about building trust. If you're clear about it, there's not going to be so much churn. You're not going to have chargebacks, and then you're not going to be, looking over your shoulder.
That's really good, Ryan.